Stop right there. Before you spend another dollar on storage bins or hire another professional organizer, you need to hear this shocking truth. The decluttering industry has been hiding 4 game-changing psychological techniques from you, and I'm about to expose exactly what they are and why they've been keeping them secret. Here's a mind-blowing statistic that will change everything. Research reveals that the typical American senior has amassed more than 300,000 individual items throughout their lifetime in their home. Think about that number for a moment. 300,000 items. Industry experts calculate that we accumulate approximately 2,000 to 5,000 new possessions annually throughout our adult years. It's no surprise that a staggering 78% of seniors report feeling completely overwhelmed when they attempt to tackle their clutter problem. But here's the insider information that those expensive $150 per hour professional organizers desperately hope you never discovered. They rely on 4 specific psychological strategies to completely transform chaotic, cluttered environments, and they're deliberately concealing these powerful methods to safeguard their lucrative business model. If you want to finally break free from the clutter that's been controlling your life, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell, because today I'm going to share these closely guarded industry secrets that will revolutionize your entire approach to your living space forever.
Introduction and promise. Welcome back to Senior Reset, the channel dedicated to helping you design the serene, meaningful retirement lifestyle you've earned and deserve. I'm James, and today I'm doing something that might ruffle some feathers in the professional organizing industry. I'm completely pulling back the curtain on their most protected trade secrets. I stumbled upon these revolutionary techniques after working intensively with Martha, a remarkable 72-year-old widow who made an incredible transformation from someone who declared, "I simply cannot part with anything," to completely reclaiming and revitalizing her entire home in just 3 focused weekends. Make sure you stay tuned for secret number 3. It's the absolute game changer that even seasoned organization experts refuse to discuss in public forums. Before we dive deep into these life-changing strategies, I want you to do something for me right now. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one specific area in your home that causes you the most stress and anxiety every single time you look at it? I personally read every single comment and would absolutely love to offer you some tailored, personalized advice based on your unique situation. And if you know someone who's struggling with clutter, maybe a friend, family member, or neighbor, please share this video with them. These secrets have the power to transform lives, and spreading this knowledge could be the gift that changes everything for someone you care about. The discovery story. Over the past 15 years, I've dedicated my career to helping seniors transition to simpler, more intentional living arrangements. And during this time, I've had the opportunity to collaborate alongside dozens of professional organizers. What I observed was absolutely fascinating and, frankly, quite disturbing. They all consistently employed the exact same 4 psychological techniques in their work, but here's the kicker. They never, ever shared these powerful methods in their YouTube videos, social media content, or public educational materials. Why this deliberate secrecy? The answer is purely financial. These straightforward, highly effective approaches would dramatically reduce the number of sessions their clients require, which would directly impact their revenue streams. It's a classic case of keeping customers dependent rather than truly empowering them. Let me paint a picture of Martha's situation when I first encountered her story. At 72 years old, she had been living in her cherished family home for an incredible 43 years. After her beloved husband passed away, the accumulated clutter became absolutely overwhelming, not just from a physical standpoint, but emotionally devastating as well. She had desperately tried working with 3 different professional organizers, investing thousands of her hard-earned dollars with frustratingly minimal progress to show for it. When I first visited Martha's home, I was genuinely shocked by what I witnessed. Her beautiful dining room table, which had once been the heart of family gatherings, hadn't been used for actual meals in several years.
Her spare bedroom had become so packed with belongings that it was literally impossible to enter the room. Most concerning of all, she had unconsciously created narrow, winding pathways throughout her home that were rapidly becoming serious falling hazards. What Martha truly needed wasn't more expensive storage containers, fancy organizing systems, or color-coded solutions. She needed these 4 fundamental psychological shifts that completely transform how seniors approach their relationship with their belongings. After implementing these specific strategies, Martha successfully cleared over 60% of her home's contents in just 3 intensive weekends, and she accomplished this without experiencing the emotional distress and trauma she had endured during previous decluttering attempts.
Secret number 1, the future self method. The first decluttering secret that professional organizers will never voluntarily share with you is what I've termed the future self method. Here's precisely why this approach is so incredibly powerful, especially for seniors. When we reach our 60s, 70s, and beyond, we've spent literally decades making decisions based entirely on our past experiences in history. We hold on to possessions because of what they represented to us previously, not based on what value they'll bring to us moving forward into our future chapters. Professional organizers are completely aware of this psychological pattern, but instead of addressing it directly and helping you work through it, they focus exclusively on organizing and arranging what you already possess, which inevitably means you'll need to purchase more storage solutions and book additional organizing sessions. Martha's incredible breakthrough occurred when I posed a simple yet profound question to her. Who do you want to be during the next 10 years of your life? This single question completely shifted her entire perspective and approach to her belongings. Instead of constantly asking herself, should I keep this item, which keeps your mind focused on past attachments and history, Martha began asking herself a completely different question. Does this particular item belong in my future vision of myself? Here's exactly how you can implement this powerful strategy in your own home right now. Step 1. Create a clear written vision. Develop a detailed written description of how you genuinely want to live during your next life chapter. Martha's personal vision included hosting intimate dinner parties for close friends, having her grandchildren stay over for special sleepovers, and finally pursuing her long-delayed passion for watercolor painting, something she had always dreamed of doing but never made time for. Step 2. Change your evaluation questions. When you're assessing whether to keep items, completely stop asking questions like, does this spark joy, or might I need this someday? Instead, ask yourself this powerful question. Does this specific item support and enhance the person I want to become? For Martha, this revolutionary shift meant keeping her high-quality cookware because it directly supported her vision of hosting those intimate dinner parties with friends. But it also meant releasing the 12 decorative serving platters she had meticulously collected over several decades. Beautiful pieces that belonged to her past entertaining style, not her current lifestyle reality. This approach meant transforming her cluttered spare room from a storage unit filled with items from her past into a beautiful combination guest room and art studio that directly supported her future aspirations. The reason professional organizers don't share this highly effective approach? It works too well. Many of Martha's accumulated items didn't require professional organizing services at all. They simply needed to be removed because they no longer belonged in her future vision. What specific vision do you have for your next life chapter? How might your current home better support and nurture that vision? Share one aspect of your future self vision in the comments below. You might just inspire someone else who's struggling with their own transformation. Secret number 2, the legacy timeline technique. The second secret that professional organizers will never tell you is what I call the legacy timeline technique. Here's an uncomfortable but essential truth that most seniors need to hear. Research shows that 65% of adult children don't actually want their parents' possessions and collections. This statistic genuinely shocks most seniors I work with. You've been carefully keeping treasured collections, precious family heirlooms, and deeply sentimental items with the firm assumption that your children or grandchildren will want and cherish them someday. Professional organizers are completely aware of this statistical reality, but they rarely address it directly with clients because it can be emotionally challenging and difficult to process. Instead, they typically suggest boxing things up for later decision-making, which predictably means more storage solutions and additional organizing sessions. Martha was absolutely devastated when I first shared this statistic with her. She had been faithfully keeping her mother's complete china set, all of her children's school projects and artwork, and dozens of family photo albums, all while assuming her daughters would treasure and want these items someday in the future. The legacy timeline technique completely changed everything for Martha. Instead of making assumptions and guessing what future generations might want, Martha did something truly revolutionary. She asked them directly. Here's precisely how to implement this life-changing strategy. Step 1. Create 3 distinct categories for sentimental items. Items to enjoy and use now. Display them, use them, appreciate them in your current life. Items to document digitally, photograph them thoroughly, then release them with peace of mind. And items to pass down now. Don't wait until after you're gone to share meaningful pieces. Step 2. Have courageous legacy conversations. Martha courageously invited her daughters over for a special lunch and directly asked them which specific items held genuine meaning and value for them personally. The results were both surprising and enlightening. One daughter had always admired and loved a particular painting hanging in the hallway, but had never mentioned her feelings about it. Neither daughter wanted the formal china set, but both treasured specific family photographs and their grandmother's handwritten recipe collections. By having these honest, open conversations, Martha could make intentional, informed decisions rather than keeping everything just in case someone might want it someday. Step 3. Create digital archives. For items that no one wanted to keep physically, Martha created comprehensive digital archives. She carefully scanned old letters and documents, photographed childhood artwork and school projects, and created beautiful digital photo albums that could be easily shared with the entire extended family. The freedom this process gave Martha was absolutely profound. She realized that she wasn't losing precious memories by letting go of physical items. She was actually preserving and honoring the stories by documenting and sharing them in ways that were more accessible to everyone. Have you had these important legacy conversations with your family members? Were you surprised by what they did or didn't want to inherit? Share your experience in the comments below. Your insights might help someone else who's currently struggling with these difficult decisions.
Secret number 3, the emotional anchoring system. The third decluttering secret, and this is the absolute game changer that professional organizers protect most fiercely, is what I call the emotional anchoring system. Professional organizers understand completely that clutter isn't really about physical stuff at all. It's about emotions, memories, and psychological attachments. For seniors especially, possessions can become incredibly powerful anchors to cherished memories, personal identities, and important relationships. But instead of addressing these deep emotional connections directly and helping clients work through them, many professionals focus exclusively on the logistics of sorting, categorizing, and storing items. This is exactly where Martha found herself completely stuck. When I asked her why she couldn't bring herself to let go of her late husband's workshop tools 5 full years after his passing, her answer revealed everything about her emotional struggle. If I let go of his things, I'm terrified I'll forget the precious details of our life together.
This profound fear of losing memories, losing connection to beloved family members, or losing important parts of your identity is precisely what keeps many seniors trapped in overwhelming clutter. The breakthrough comes from creating new, intentional emotional anchors that preserve what truly matters without requiring you to keep every single physical item. Here's exactly how the emotional anchoring system works. Step 1. Identify core emotions and stories. For each category of deeply meaningful items, such as your late spouse's belongings, your children's keepsakes, or career-related memorabilia, identify the core emotion or story that those items represent and embody. Step 2. Select signature representative items. Choose one or two signature items that best capture and represent that core emotion or story. Martha decided to keep her husband's favorite hammer, the tool he used most often, and had it professionally mounted in a beautiful shadow box alongside a photograph of him working contentedly in his workshop. Step 3. Create alternative memory anchors. For everything else, create alternative memory anchors through meaningful rituals, thorough documentation, or creative transformation. For example, Martha invited her entire family to visit and select items from her husband's workshop, encouraging them to share favorite stories about him as they chose tools that held special meaning. She photographed carefully arranged groupings of meaningful items before letting them go, creating a beautiful digital memorial. She even had a special quilt made from her husband's favorite shirts, creating a new treasure that took up significantly less space but preserved the precious memories in a functional, beautiful way. The key insight here is that we don't need to keep absolutely everything to preserve what matters emotionally. By intentionally creating these new anchors, Martha discovered she could actually access her precious memories more easily than when they were buried and hidden in overwhelming clutter. When Martha implemented this powerful system, she was able to clear her entire workshop while feeling more connected to him than she had experienced in years. The space was transformed into a peaceful reading nook where she feels his loving presence every single day, rather than a cluttered shrine she avoided because it was too painful to enter. Have you found creative ways to preserve precious memories while letting go of physical items? Or is there a specific category of items you're struggling to release? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to move forward. Secret number 4. The Threshold Mastery Protocol. The fourth and final decluttering secret that professional organizers never reveal is what I call the Threshold Mastery Protocol. Here's why this final step is absolutely crucial for long-term success. Studies consistently show that 78% of people who declutter end up recluttering within just 18 months. Professional organizers know this discouraging statistic very well. In fact, many count on it for repeat business and ongoing revenue. Instead of teaching true prevention strategies, they focus on organizing systems that require regular maintenance, updating, and professional intervention. For Martha, this frustrating pattern was all too familiar. She had successfully decluttered before, only to find herself surrounded by new accumulations within a single year. What she needed wasn't more clever storage solutions or organizational systems. She needed to address the incoming flow of items entering her home. The Threshold Mastery Protocol is about becoming the thoughtful, intentional gatekeeper of your home and life. It's particularly powerful for seniors because it addresses the unique reasons we tend to accumulate possessions during our later years. Here's how to implement this life-changing approach. Step 1. Identify your specific accumulation triggers. Emotional purchasing, buying items to fill emotional needs or voids. Aspirational accumulation, collecting items for a potential future version of yourself. Inherited responsibility, accepting items from friends or family members, downsizing.
abundance mindset hangover, stockpiling behaviors from earlier, less financially secure times. Martha discovered her primary trigger was saying yes to items that friends were discarding. She had unconsciously become the keeper in her social circle. She also realized she was still shopping for her former entertaining lifestyle despite rarely hosting large gatherings anymore. Step 2. Create personalized threshold questions. Rather than using generic questions like, "Do I need this?" develop pointed questions that address your specific patterns. Martha's customized questions included, "Am I accepting this out of obligation or genuine desire? Does this support my actual current lifestyle, not my former one? If I say yes to storing this item, what am I saying no to in terms of space and freedom?" Step 3. Practice the 48-hour pause. The most powerful tool in the protocol for any non-essential item considering entering your home, implement a mandatory 48-hour reflection period. When Martha mastered her thresholds, something remarkable happened. Not only did her home stay beautifully decluttered, but her purchasing patterns changed completely. She became intentional rather than reactive, and found herself surrounded only by items that truly supported her current life vision. The freedom this created went far beyond physical space. Martha reported experiencing mental clarity and emotional lightness she hadn't felt in decades. What are your main clutter triggers? Are you still acquiring items for a past version of yourself? Share your insights in the comments below. Awareness is always the first step towards meaningful change.
Martha's complete transformation was nothing short of remarkable and inspiring. Her home, once filled with narrow pathways and completely inaccessible rooms, is now open, welcoming, and filled with natural light. She now hosts weekly watercolor sessions with friends in her former spare room, which has been transformed into a beautiful, bright studio with natural light streaming through windows that were once blocked by towering boxes. The dining room table that hadn't seen a family meal in years now regularly hosts her grandchildren for special Sunday dinners. She reports that these gatherings are more meaningful and enjoyable because the conversations aren't overshadowed by surrounding clutter and chaos. Most importantly, Martha's entire relationship with her possessions has fundamentally changed. "I used to think letting go meant losing my past," she told me recently, "but now I understand that curating my belongings actually helps me honor what matters most." She no longer feels weighed down by constant maintenance, cleaning, organizing, and the mental burden of excess. Instead, at 73, she's experiencing a renewed sense of possibility and freedom. Physically, the transformation has been equally significant. With clear pathways and organized spaces, Martha's risk of falling has decreased dramatically. She moves through her home with confidence rather than caution, and her overall quality of life has improved immeasurably. If Martha's inspiring story resonated with you, I want you to know that this transformation is absolutely possible in your home too. These 4 secrets, the future self method, the legacy timeline technique, the emotional anchoring system, and the threshold mastery protocol can change not just your physical space, but your entire relationship with your possessions and your vision for your future. The professional organizers Martha had hired previously were astonished when they saw photos of her transformed space. "You accomplished more in 3 weekends than we did in 6 months," one admitted. That's the true power of addressing the psychology behind the clutter rather than just the clutter itself. It's not about better storage containers or more sophisticated organizing systems. It's about developing better decision-making processes that align your space with who you are now and who you want to be in your next chapter.
If this video helped you see your clutter situation differently, please hit that like button right now and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. Subscribe to Senior Reset and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest strategies for creating the peaceful, purposeful retirement you deserve. Remember, your home should serve the life you want today, not the life you lived yesterday. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep moving toward the future you envision for yourself.